welcome back to Sai SS Academy. I am Ashwati Nair. Today I am going to discuss about the chapter 4 Political Science class 6. The name of the chapter is Key Elements of a Democratic Government. In the previous chapter we discussed about what is a government, isn't it? Yes, and we discussed about the types of the government, the levels of the government and the functions of the government, isn't it? So mainly we talked about the democratic type of government. What is a democratic type of government? Yes, democratic government means that the government of the people, for the people and by the people, isn't it? Here in a democratic government, people have personal freedom, political freedom, equality, rule of law, dignity, respect, etc. etc. Okay, so the first thing we need to understand in this chapter is apartheid. Yes children, what do you mean by the word apartheid? Listen, that means here apartheid means separation on the basis of race. Okay, apartheid means separation on the basis of race. Earlier Africa was governed by apartheid and it was divided into white, black, Indians and colored races. According to the law, these races were not allowed to mingle each other. They were not allowed to mingle each other. They were not allowed to live near each other and not even allowed to use the common facilities. For example, the white spoke Africans. Okay, the white people, they spoke the language Africans and the black people have to use the local language that is Zulu. Got it? The black have to speak Zulu only. And the other thing is that in those days, this ambulance used by this white people, okay, it was of well equipped. But what about the black people? They have to use the separate one. Okay, even the ambulance used by the hospital was like that. That means that much discrimination was there. And there were separate trains and buses also. Other thing is that these non-whites were not allowed to vote. Okay, and so under this apartheid movement, people were basically divided into whites, black, colored. Okay, that was the distinction that was in Africa at that time. Okay, so Nelson Mandela. Okay, Nelson Mandela was the first person. Okay, he was the first person under the African National Congress fought for the rights of this apartheids. Okay, and he fought for the rights and said that the apartheid should be abolished. Who? Nelson Mandela. Okay, he fought for several years. And in 1994, South Africa became a democratic nation. So there should be an objective type of question. When did South Africa become a democratic nation? In 1994. Okay. Tracing with the above all examples, we said that there was a lot of difficulties faced by the people in the South Africa, isn't it? So, tracing with the above some examples, we can't trace out how big the issue was. We can't trace out how big the issue was. Okay. So, it was basically a fight for respect, a fight for dignity, and that led to a movement not only in the part of the South Africa, but ultimately spread throughout the globe. Got it? So, there was a kind of revolution that occurred that was mainly through participative forces. Okay. So, now how do people participated? That is our next topic, participation. Okay, next our topic is participation. What we are trying to do under participation? Yes, that means we are participating under various forms. Okay, we are participating under various forms. It could be in the form of the dharnas, rallies, strikes, signature campaigns, etc. Okay, that means nowadays the electronic media, social networking or through the newspapers also the people can express their views. Okay, so these are some ways in which we are bringing in people for mass movement. These are the some ways in which we are bringing the people for a mass movement. Okay, however, the most important part of participation is through voting. Okay, through voting. That means here the people vote, and through votes they elected the leaders. Okay, through election the people that they are electing their leaders, isn't it? Once the leaders are elected, these leaders represent the people. Okay, once this election was done, these leaders represent the people. Okay, these representatives take decisions on behalf of the people. These representatives, the elected members are there, and these representatives take decisions on behalf of the people. Okay, and when they are taking these decisions, they are considering the voices and the interest of the people. Okay, next, all governments are elected for a fixed period. All the governments are elected for a fixed period, and in India this period is of 5 years. Okay children, so every 5 years we would have an election. Every 5 years we would have an election. So we discussed about the participation, and we discussed about that many ways are there to for people to express their views. It includes the dharnas, it includes the strikes, it includes the signature campaign, etc. And nowadays the electronic medias like social media and the TV are also there for expressing their views. So here the next thing is the conflict and resolving conflicts. Okay, so we have to discuss about the conflicts and the resolving conflicts. This is a key aspect of the democratic government. Okay, to understand the conflicts, conflicts can be about anything. It can be about anything. Conflicts can be about you siblings or your friends, isn't it? You siblings and your friends regarding a piece of chocolate or a pencil, you can fight, isn't it? So the conflict will arise like that also. But when conflict comes to nation, it can be as big as, got it? It can be as big as and it can be on the idea of religion, it can be on the problem of the rivers, and it can be on the basis of the region. Like that the conflict may arise. Separation of this Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. The separation of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana was a major issue. It was a regional issue. So I said that the conflict may arise through the region. So for example, the region I said about the separation of this Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. It was a major issue, isn't it? And the separation of the boundary issues of this Pakistan and India. Okay, and that it was a religious issue. It was a religious issue. Boundaries of the Pakistan and India. That was a religious issue. And we know that other thing is that the river issue. Okay, river issue. So here the river Kaveri, it makes a problem. We know that Kaveri river flows through the two states, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. The Karnataka, for example, I will show you this Kaveri river. Here it is Karnataka. Okay, it flows from Karnataka and it comes to this region Tamil Nadu. Okay, Tamil Nadu. So here the river flows from Karnataka and it comes to the Tamil Nadu. Okay, and here what is the problem means, here in this Karnataka a dam was there in this river and it is known as the Krishnarajasagar Dam. Krishnarajasagar Dam was there in this Karnataka. And here in Tamil Nadu on the same river this Mettur Dam is there. Mettur Dam. Okay, so the Krishnarajasagar Dam in the Karnataka on the Kaveri river and the Mettur Dam in Tamil Nadu on the same river. So a conflict arises because both dams are on the same river. Okay, the downstream dam is on this Tamil Nadu, that is Mettur Dam is on this Tamil Nadu, and Tamil Nadu can all be filled if water is released from this upper stream. Okay, that is located in Karnataka. This leads to the conflict. This was the river issue conflict between the two states. I think you got the how the conflicts arises. So all these led to conflict. Okay, another form of the conflict can be through this the discrimination. Okay, another thing is that discrimination. That means discrimination based on the caste, creed, religion. So on the basic idea of a democratic government is to resolve all these conflicts. Whenever the conflicts are arises there, it is the basic need of the government to resolve all these conflicts. Okay, next we have a look on how the government is trying to resolving the conflict. So for resolving a conflict, a democratic government has commitment to equality and justice. Okay, equality and justice are inseparable. This equality and justice are inseparable. Other important thing is maintaining the law and order. Okay, making the laws enforcing the laws and seeing that justice is working on each and every corner. Okay, these are the duty of the government. That means making the law is their duty, enforcing the law is their duty, and seeing that justice is working on each and every corner. Got it? That means when it comes to minority groups, for example, women, tribal groups. Okay, I am saying the example of the women and tribal groups. The government recognizes and makes special provisions for them. Okay, when it comes that any problem comes against these women and the tribal groups, the government recognizes and make special provisions. Okay, for example, the society gives more care for the boy child than the girl child. Okay, it was always like that, isn't it? So in this context, the government provides special provisions that can enable girls to overcome injustice. Whenever the society is giving priority for the boy child, the government ensuring that the girl giving justice to the girl child. Okay, recently encouraged one thing was there. That means the government encouraged Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao Abhiyan. It was a abhiyan just recently launched by the government. Okay, so with this our chapter covered. I think you understand this chapter, the key elements of this democratic government. First we discussed about this the apartheid and the problems that faced in the South Africa. Okay, after that how they got independent. Next we came to the next point, participation. And after that participation, we discussed about this conflicts, and whenever the conflicts come, how the democratic government is going to resolve this conflict, and for resolving the conflict, the government always have to stand with the justice and equality. And these are the things we discussed in this chapter. I hope you understand, children. Okay, I have to say one thing. If you like my teaching and if you are able to understand my discussions or lecturing, please subscribe my channel and stay tuned with my channel. Thank you.